So, namaste, welcome to Satsang today. And if you're new here to these teachings, you're very, very welcome and glad that you're here. And Satsang, it might not be a word that we're so familiar with. For me, it certainly wasn't. First time that I heard it, it was a new word for me. So, Satsang simply means to gather together in the truth, to imbibe the truth, to live as that truth. And in Satsang, not just in these teachings, but every authentic gathering that's happening all over the world, the aim is not only to come to know what we are, but to also live as that, to know the truth of our being. And then to live as that is the only thing that's going to satisfy us now at this point in our journey. We don't really want to think about anything, what we are. And maybe we've passed the stage of believing in something. And of course, all those stages are completely valid. But here in Satsang, we are here to embody this truth. And that isn't a final destination, it's an ongoing, ever deepening embodiment of what we have seen ourselves to be, what we are seeing ourselves to be. And it's like two sides of a coin. On one side of the coin, we are seeing who we are. And on the other side, we are seeing who we are not. That this imaginary separate being that we thought ourselves to be, that actually it is imaginary, even though it seems extraordinarily real. So as we see clearer who we already are, that moves to the forefront of our experience more because we begin to value it more and to value less what we thought we were, this person, this someone that seems to be striving and efforting not only towards awakening, but in all areas of our life. And gradually, as we see who we are and who we are not ever more clearly, it really just begins to embody itself. And there are certain core practices that we do uh, here in Satsang and also in our community. We practice meditation, self-inquiry, and contemplation. And also we work with conscious imagining as a way to look at our desires and to realize that those desires are from the oneself, not from a person. We also work with statement process as well, just to allow any resistance to be gently released. And if you're like me, then you have had or do have plenty of resistance. So that's the difference really here right now, is that we are here to not only see what we are, but to live as it. And that's only as simple as recognizing through direct experience either a sudden experience of who we are, or looking deeply in our self-inquiry, as it was for me. There were no freebies along my path. As much as I'd like to say there were these beautiful, spontaneous moments where I just knew what I was, it simply wasn't like that. I had to practice self-inquiry, meditation, all of it, just like you. And as we see that the truth of our being is the one formless presence, that what we are is before form and also appearing as form. So we're not negating anything at all. We're just realizing the fundamental aspect of who we are is prior to form, and that we are appearing as all of these forms coming and going, and that there is only one formless presence experiencing itself as all of these human beings. And in each of these human body minds, it's imagining itself to be completely separate, cut off from everything and everyone else. No wonder that is scary. No wonder that makes us feel not good enough. Because from there, the sense of duality arises and the sense of division. With that comes fear, comparison. We keep comparing ourselves to everyone else and everything else. I know I used to compare myself to almost everyone. Sometimes trying to make myself feel better, my mind would compare myself to someone I thought was less far ahead than me on the path. But most times it was comparison that worked the other way around. Looking at people who already seemed very awakened, great teachers, great beings, and comparing myself and not feeling that I measure up at all to that. So along with that comes unworthiness, a sense of unworthiness, guilt, shame, anger, whatever we struggle with in our life. So we have to look at what we really are. But then we have to take that seeing, that knowledge into a recognition of any old ideas that pop up for us, feeling not good enough, feeling unsafe, feeling limited, unlovable, all of these things. And the major thing that began to shift for me was the realization that any and all comparison was irrelevant if there's only one being and it's appearing as all of this. That comparing myself to someone else only served one purpose, and that is to make myself feel terrible because it emphasized a sense of division and duality that really wasn't there. And I can look at another body mind and see something in that body mind that I would like to embody in this body and mind, but not believing this idea that I am separate to them, that they have something that I don't. My capacity to believe that began to fall away. And gratefully with that did the jealousy. I don't know if you've ever experienced jealousy on your pathway in your life, but it was one of my constant friends, unwanted friends. But it was all from this sense of separation. Even if we compare ourselves to the great sages that have walked this planet, still we can't do that because we are them, they are us. We are the latest incarnation of these great sages, we could say. Eventually, this sense of comparing will have to go, and it goes by recognizing that you cannot be actually separate to them. So, even comparing yourself as you think you are right now in this moment, if you take a look at where you think you are on your spiritual journey right now towards awakening, and then compare yourself to where you like to be, still, we cannot compare like this. Still, this puts us into duality. As we see who we are clearer and clearer, and then that expresses itself more and more, this embodying process, non-process, is going to continue. It still continues to deepen for me today and will never, ever stop. Right now, you are the perfect embodiment of what you have seen to be true. And tomorrow, you'll be an even more perfect. And the day after that, even more perfect than that. It's not from imperfection to perfection, but perfect and an even bigger expression of that perfection, an even bigger expression of that perfection. So even this comparison that we do with ourselves, it's really going to begin to fall away as we see there is just this one being appearing as this body mind, your body mind also, right now. And in this one being, there is no time. Of course, the body mind lives in a sense of time. In this one being, there is no progress. You are it already. And all we're doing here in Satsang is recognizing that more. And as we recognize that more, the sense of progressing and becoming is not the main event anymore. That begins to just be something that's happening to the body mind in front of you, the formless presence. And it actually speeds up then because there's less and less of a sense of a person who's trying to make something happen. So paradoxically, we end up knowing we are completely this formless presence right now, and we have always been. And yet, at the same time, there's an ever deepening embodiment of that every day, every moment possible for us. So all of this is to help us let go of any sense of comparison. We could compare ourselves to where we were 10 years ago and see that maybe we feel we haven't made any progress at all. Maybe we feel we have made progress. Both of those would be untrue. You might compare yourself to a teacher that you like, or a teaching, or a sage from the past, a description of the awakened state, something in a scripture, and use that to conclude that you're not awakened enough yet, or that you're more awakened than last time you read it. And again, that would all be untrue. So not rejecting our mind's comparison, just noticing it can't apply to the one being. Anything that we reject, we push against, we're going into division again, into separation or duality. Me, there's a me, a person then, apparently, and what I'm rejecting. So just to notice that comparison is not really possible for you, but not to try to stop it if it's going on in the mind still, which it may be for a while. For me, it just became less and less relevant. And more was I seeing, I am this already. I am this formless presence. And I have always been. That became clearer and clearer. Just because for the longest time I thought myself to be a person trying to reach awakening doesn't mean it was ever true. So how about we see if we can simply notice when that comparison happens? You know, and we're so good at comparing in our minds, not just about awakening, comparing our body image to others, our financial situation to others, how we speak in public, anything and everything we use as this comparison mechanism. But does it have any place in the one being, in the one formless presence? Can it have? For me, just to look at this rationally from even an intellectual understanding, if you haven't yet actually experienced who you are, then of course we can look at that in some self-inquiry later when we open it up for questions. But even if we only intellectually know right now who we are, still we can see that if there's only one, then thinking about me and other is going to be largely futile. And that maybe we feel bad when we engage in this comparison, not because what our mind is saying is true, that we aren't as good as this other person, but because we feel divided. Maybe comparison emphasizes a division into two-ness that really isn't true. So just to see why something isn't relevant for us, it will begin to fall away on its own by itself. If we push against it, then again, we're going into division. What does this look like on practical terms? Well, I started to become more aware of all the times and places that I was comparing myself to something or someone else. And it was only everywhere in my life, my financial situation, my parenting abilities, or what I thought they were, my awakening, my friendships, relationships, everywhere. But most of all, where it hurt the most was comparing myself to where I thought I should be in my journey to self-realization, enlightenment, awakening. And when that finally fell away, when the ability to compare finally fell away, there was such peace. Just to become aware of it in my life, and then to stop judging myself because it was going on. Something fundamental began to shift. My mind may be comparing for the rest of eternity, but I don't have to agree with it. And I don't have to push it away either. So I hope that what's been said here has found some home inside you, because it is one of the things we do to ourselves so much, this comparison, as a way to somehow beat ourselves up without realizing. And as we said before, does our mind actually have the capacity to see and to know who we really are? No, not through any fault of its own. It can't see. It can only think. It can only think about. And that's not the same as seeing. I could think about you for a long time and come to a nice mental picture of who I think you are. And then the very first time we meet each other, it would be completely different. And we've all had that experience. And it's like that with awakening. And we actually meet ourselves as we actually are. It's nothing like we thought we were at all. And that's a very joyful thing, very freeing, liberating. So I hope that this has helped to just let this comparison and this judgment pass you by, to let it fall away. As you would look at something outdated, an older version of something, like when we upgrade the software on our devices. We don't get angry at the old software, we just upgrade it to the new one. Can we treat our mind's comparison like that? This is an old, outdated version, a way of doing things that hasn't really worked for us anyway to bring peace. And just to observe it, just to watch it from the presence, without pushing against it, without believing it. That's always our option, to simply let something come and go. Okay. So I will open up here for some discussion if anyone has a question or a challenge that you'd like to share. We'll see how many we can get to in the time that we have. And just a reminder that you should get a prompt on your screen to ask you to unmute. So just be watching for that. Okay. We'll start with Marcos. Yeah. Are you ready, Matt? There we go. Wonderful.
Buenas.
Hola.
Hola Helen, ¿todo bien? Yo estaré hablando en español porque soy de Paraguay. ¿Da para escuchar bien? Ok, muchas gracias. Ok, Helen. Quería contarte una experiencia y comprobar de que esa experiencia haya sido real.
Sorry,
Eh,
one moment. I forgot to
ok,
make Olga able to unmute. I just realized. Sorry. There we go.
Thank you. Por favor, ¿puedes repetir, Marcos?
ok.
Thank
Bueno,
you.
quería compartir una experiencia contigo, Helen, y ver si esa experiencia es real, o sea, que corresponde a la realidad.
I would like to share an experience with you, and I want to know if this experience is real or not.
Ok, el otro día estuve acostado escuchando la lluvia
The other
y,
day, I was lying, listening to the rain,
y me viene el razonamiento que me decía, si aquí, en este momento, no hay una persona presente, ¿para quién está cayendo la lluvia?
and the thought came, if there is not a person here now, who is the rain falling for?
Y la comprensión que me vino es que la lluvia no estaba sucediendo para nadie,
And it came that the rain was happening to nobody,
de que la lluvia era lo que estaba sucediendo, pero no le sucedía a nadie, ya que no había alguien en ese momento.
that rain was what was happening, but it was not happening to anybody because there was nobody there at that moment.
Entonces me llega la comprensión de que la vida es impersonal, de que la vida no le sucede a nadie.
And then it comes that understanding that life is not personal. Life doesn't happen to anybody.
Después de eso me llega otra comprensión
Then it comes another understanding
de que si no hay alguien presente aquí, ¿quién estaría presente para decir o para confirmar de que realmente hay una lluvia cayendo?
if there was nobody here, who would be present here to prove that the rain is falling?
Entonces me vino la comprensión y eso quiero confirmar contigo, de que si no hay nadie para confirmar que está cayendo la lluvia, entonces en realidad no está sucediendo nada. ¿Eso está correcto?
And then it came this, and this is what I want to check with you. If there's nobody to check that the rain is falling, then it is not falling. Is it right or not?
What you've described, very beautiful. Something similar happened to me a few years ago, and I can still remember the sound of the rain falling on the roof of where I was sitting. It was somehow different when there was no sense of a person. It was just falling, and it was like music somehow. The person I thought I was used to get annoyed by the rain. It should stop raining. But this was just like music. And in that moment, there was a recognition that the rain and the roof and the human body listening were all the same thing, all the same thing. And it became clear there's two different ways that I can experience anything. I can experience it as a someone experiencing something else out there, or as the rain is falling inside me, the presence, the formless presence. There's the rain, there's a body listening, and it's all just happening by itself. Can you get a sense of it?
Sí, inclusive sentía la duda de que si no hay nadie presente, ¿quién estaba ahí para confirmar de que algo está sucediendo en realidad?
I had this doubt if there was nobody present, who was there to confirm that that rain was happening.
Shall we find out together? Shall we look now?
Ok, ok.
Let's look for you then. What are you? Right. When you just play with this question and see what answers come to this question. What are you? Take your time. There's no right or wrong answers here.
Solo siento que soy, solo siento que estoy porque soy consciente de ello.
I just feel that I am because I am aware of that.
And if you are aware of something, does that make you a form or formless? That awareness that's here, is it a form or is it formless?
Sin forma porque es consciente de la forma.
It's formless because it's conscious of the form.
Beautiful. You're doing great. And it's even easier for this formless awareness to recognize itself because of the forms it's conscious of. Right now, you're conscious of these words. You're listening to these words just like you were listening to the rain, but not listening as a person, listening as awareness.
Sí. Ahora, ¿cómo continúa todo si ya no me siento alguien? ¿Cómo se daría la vida de esa manera? Esa es mm, mi duda. ¿Cómo así decir duda? Porque la duda es mental.
So I have a doubt, and I don't know if it's a mental doubt. How does life go on if I am not a someone?
So let's take a look at that. I had this doubt too, and I was worried that I wouldn't be able to function if I went further into this. How would my life work? Let's look at this awareness that you are again. Let's experience it. See if you can tell me, have you always been this? Or are you just becoming it now?
No siempre he sido esto.
I have always been this.
So, what has been making your life move? Even when you thought you were a person or someone, you actually were always awareness, and life has just been happening anyway. Why should it be any different now that that awareness is recognizing itself? In fact, you might even find the opposite, that actually your life flows even more smoothly and joyfully in the manifestation, because there's no idea of a person getting in the way of this unfolding that's happening in form all the time.
Sí, siento esa comprensión, pero la duda surgió cuando surgieron las emociones, por ejemplo, una emoción de frustración o una emoción de enojo. Ahí fue la que surgió la duda. ¿Cómo la vida continúa si aún continúa surgiendo las emociones?
So my doubt was related with emotions. How can life go on if there are still emotions?
So as you recognize clearer that you are this awareness, as we're calling it, what's going to happen is the old ideas about yourself are going to come to the surface for you to look at and see that they're not true for you. So for me, lots of emotions came, some fear, some guilt, anger, apathy, shame, everything basically, one by one. And I had to look at the idea underneath that. If I sat with fear, it said to me that I'm not safe. Actually, I'm not safe. At any moment, I could cease to exist. So let's look at that from the perspective of awareness. Is that true as awareness? Our bodies can die, but what about awareness? Can you die as awareness?
No,
Frustration or anger, feeling into anger, it said to me, I can't get what I want. I feel limited, restricted. Is that true for awareness?
no.
So when these emotions come, we can look at them like this, and this is what we do in our contemplation. We ask, is this true for me now? Is this really true that I'm not safe? And um, it's not a horrible thing to do. These emotions come, we look at the story, and it's so joyful to confirm, isn't it? It's not true for me as awareness. I am safe. I was never born. I will never die. I've always been here, always will be here. Can never be limited by anything. So these emotions, they're coming to help you see even more clearly what it means to be awareness already and how that changes your life and how you think about yourself.
Entiendo, pero en ese momento hay una aparente dualidad en el que yo, conciencia, quedo observando una emoción. ¿Eso es verdad?
But in that moment, there appears to be a duality, me and the emotion I am watching. Is this true?
Let's have a look, shall we, together, because I think this is a really useful exploration. Yeah. This awareness again that you are, let's tune into it, experience it. And tell me if it's formless, without any shape, without any tangibility, does it stop where it meets an emotion or a thought? Does it come to an end where it meets an object?
No.
So is an emotion really an emotion, or is it awareness in disguise?
Entonces sería la conciencia emergiendo en forma de emoción.
Then it would be awareness appearing as emotion.
So this is a super fast way then to be with emotions. When you see them, you can experience them in the body and then feeling for where awareness seems to end and where the emotion seems to start. Or if a thought arises, you can see, where does the awareness of the thought stop and the thought begin? Can I find that place that I've imagined to be there, where the division is between, seemingly, the division between the thought and awareness? When I looked like this, I couldn't find any division, just awareness appearing as thoughts, emotions, bodies, trees. And then the whole world of phenomena is experienced in a different way, as you did with the rain. You were experiencing the rain as awareness experiences rain, right? A beautiful appearance inside itself.
Exactamente, esa es la experiencia que tuve y que continúo teniendo. Solo que la duda surgió de la mente. Da para ver que fue de la mente.
Yes, that was the experience I had, and the doubt came from mind.
And even these doubts are here to help us go deeper as we take them into our inquiry, like we've done today. They're here to help because the mind is saying, yes, but what about this thing? And what do I do when this happens? And we could say, let's have a look at that. Let's take it into inquiry like we've done. All of this that we've explored today takes a little practice. Sometimes when an emotion arises, we're sure that it's anger and we can't even remember to look and check if it might be awareness, and that's okay. For a little while, it'll be like that. And after we've been really angry for an hour or a day, as we calm down again, we can begin to look.
Es así mismo, así mismo. Agradezco mucho la oportunidad, Helen, y la aclaración que me diste. Voy a continuar avanzando en este camino.
That's the way it is. I'm really grateful for the opportunity and the information you give me. I'm going to go on in this path.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Good to
Muchas
talk to you.
gracias. Muchas gracias.
Wonderful.
Igualmente.
Okay. So we will go to Keith. Lots of hearts going up. Okay. Wonderful.
Okay, I just got the prompt to unmute.
Yeah, don't worry. Sometimes it's takes a little while. All good.
I don't know what to ask you. I
You don't have to
uh,
ask anything. We can just sit here
well,
together.
yeah, I mean, I originally raised my hand because you were just so spot on as ever. We're talking about comparison because that was such a childhood thing for me. I always remember my dad used to compare me to the boy next door, and it started in childhood. Why can't he be more like Mark? Because I
Mm.
was more introverted and he was more like running around and playing. And I realized I've always compared myself with my friends. I'm not as good as them. I'm not as muscular. I don't have enough money.
Even here on Satsang, when someone's asking me a question and I'm giving an answer and someone's having a realization, the mind for most of us will be comparing, why can't I have that realization? Why isn't it happening for me? They're getting it. I'm not getting it, right? It's
Exactly.
everywhere, everywhere.
So like, yeah, and I go to like this men's group, and there's guys there that one guy lives in a van, and the other guy's a multi-millionaire. There's different people in the group, and I sort of think, oh, I can't be more like that and less like that. And I don't know, like, and then how can I pick up that energy? I want to pick up the energy from the guy who's got money. But how do oh, I don't know what I'm asking you. I was just blown away by that last one too, because the thing about I feel emotion too, and I didn't really connect the emotion with awareness like you
For
did.
me,
So I
for
have
me,
that too. The
sorry, go
last
ahead.
discussion with her, maybe I just need to go and think about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, not
in
think
my,
about it, that's the wrong word.
yeah, don't worry. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
In my journey, after I'd begun to recognize that I wasn't a person and that I was awareness, as we're calling it, or presence, whatever name we put on it. What happened for me after that was that life was happy to show me all the
Mm.
things and people that I thought were not awareness also. So all the emotions that I was really still believing in terms of being an actual thing that I had to deal with, that I would go into separation with. All the thoughts, certain people, things like money, you know. So each one was a very, very unwanted gift. You know, each time fear came, it was a, oh, not you again, and shame. But over time, there was a softening that maybe it's here for a reason. Ultimately, it wants me to see what it really is. It wants me to see that it's also me. It is also awareness. It's a different way of being with emotions, isn't it? Because usually we're taught simply to either suppress them or express them, reject them,
Mm.
all of those.
So when you feel an emotion, if you feel sadness or something,
Hmm.
what are you saying? I need to listen to your discussion with Marcos again, I guess. Like, how do
Yeah,
you?
just if you can do your
How,
best to feel it, let's say there's a sadness or something, you're just feeling it in the body the best that you can. And that's not an absolute thing, right? Right now, I'll feel this as much as I can.
Mm,
And at the same time, I might not like it, but I can
right.
also just be gently curious as to what it actually is. Beyond the word sadness, like what actually is this that I'm feeling? Just gently curious. And as I learned to be curious about them,
Mm,
emotions, something just began to soften and open up in that. Some kind of authentic meeting with them.
mm. Yeah, it's something I need to visit it. It's just something that came up after your discussion. I originally called about raised my hand about comparison, but your previous discussion with Marcos was really powerful. So
It's pretty much all the same thing, isn't it? It's
mm,
I can experience something and just label it sadness and then reject it or resist it. Or I can do it as awareness would and is, which is just to be kind of curious and aware. What is this? You know?
what do you do when you think, oh, I wish I had as much money as so and so, because then I wouldn't have to worry about money. So and then I'd be more peaceful, and then I could spend time being enlightened,
Oh, I
or
have
whatever.
spent many years worrying about money. Oh, it was a
Mm,
constant source of fear. Just to notice that comparison. So when that thought happens, I wish I
mm,
had, whatever, just when the
mm,
comparison happens, can you just notice that? Usually, when that thought arises, we would push against it somehow.
mm,
But what if this thought, this comparison thought, is actually, even this is an invitation to ask what it really is. What is this thought? Like, have I ever actually looked at what it really is?
no,
None of us have, right? We've just kind of gone, oh God, mind is just doing it again. Can it stop? This needs to go away. But even here, in a thing that we least want, so, comparison thoughts or emotions, there's an opportunity to
mm.
shift how we interact with them.
Yeah, there's that great line in the Desiderata poem about if you compare yourself with others, you will become vain or bitter because people will always be greater and lesser than you. But that's more of an ego thing. I can feel like, oh, I'm better than the guy who lives in a van, but not as good as the guy who lives in a mansion.
There's the whole experience in
It's so
duality right
annoying.
there, isn't it? The guy, I'm
Yeah,
better than that guy, not as good as that guy.
yeah, exactly.
The thing that really shifted it quickly for me was to realize if I am formless, does it make
Mm,
any sense to compare myself to another form?
yeah.
And that just
Mm,
kind of knocked me sideways a little bit for a while. Like my
mm,
whole judgment thing is comparing myself to someone else or something else.
yeah. I guess that's the root. I need to get to the formless thing.
Even just to see, does it actually make any sense to compare ourselves to another body mind if
Doesn't Yeah, it
if
doesn't
they're all
create,
appearing
doesn't make me
inside
rigid.
me? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even just to have that understanding intellectually that only if I'm a form is it actually worth comparing myself to other forms. And even then, not so much. Something begins to soften. Is there anything in the whole of manifestation that I can compare myself to? No, not really.
But if I'm one with them, can I have the money?
Well, it began to become clear that actually I am experiencing financial abundance in other body minds. And
Mm.
it's
Ah,
already happening in certain body minds for me. And I would like it to happen here in this body mind. And I could feel the desire for it, but it didn't come with a sense of separation then, of duality, right?
mm.
And only then could it actually be this experience here of financial abundance. If we're asking for something, and at the same time, energetically, we're asserting that we don't have it, they have it, I don't. Is it ever really going to be able to come to us?
No,
So just to see that is a huge breakthrough in itself, isn't it? I'm asking, I'm
I
desiring,
suppose so.
wanting, and at the same time, I'm stubbornly, adamantly asserting it's not here now. They have it, I
Mm.
don't. That's the essence of jealousy for me. When I saw that, I realized what's it like to want this without the division, without the separation.
There's a lot more to this than meets my tiny brain, so I need to contemplate it.
The scenes
Thank
have
you.
already happened while we're talking. It's just going to unfold itself now.
Yeah, but I want it to happen now. I don't want to have to wait like 10 years for it.
Totally get that. Yeah. Just don't work hard with it, right? Just be curious and gentle with yourself.
Thank you. I'll let you go.
Good to talk to you as always.
Thank you, Helen.
Thank you. Wonderful. Um, we'll go to Olivera. Oh, sorry, Enrique. Sorry, Enrique Linares. There's two hands up. Hola. Oh, okay. Hopefully we'll be able to get it unmuted soon. There we go.
Hola, ¿se me
Hola.
escucha ahora?
Yes.
Ah, gracias. Encantado, Helen.
Nice to
Quería
meet
hacer una
you.
pregunta con relación a lo que antes he hablado de la comparación,
I wanted to ask you about
porque ya hace
comparison.
tiempo que estoy con esto de la espiritualidad y sí que ya la mayoría de las veces no reacciono,
I have been
me
in
doy
for a
cuenta
while.
a tiempo de que soy conciencia
Most of the
y
times,
no me enfado, aunque la otra persona quiera que me enfade,
un momentito, por favor,
pero me
Enrique.
da la impresión de que he
One
quedado
moment,
atrapado,
please. One moment for
como creo
translation.
que pasa siempre.
One moment for translation, please. Thank you.
Ah, sí,
No worries.
I've been in the path for a while. Now I'm becoming aware just when I am about to react with another person.
Wonderful.
Siga, Enrique.
Please continue.
gracias. Me da la impresión de que he quedado ya hace mucho tiempo atrapado en el ego espiritual. Es decir, que creo que estoy deshaciendo el ego y creo, porque lo he oído a maestros decirlo, que he quedado con un ego muy suave, que no reacciono, que tengo paciencia, que no me enfado, pero no sé cómo distinguir si es ego espiritual
Okay, one
o
second.
es que el ego ya
One
se me
second.
está deshaciendo.
One moment for translation. Thank you.
So I have this doubt that if I'm being trapped by the spiritual ego, because I have the sense that my ego has been softening. Now I have a softer ego, but it's still an ego. So I don't know.
Does the ego, though, this egoic sense of self, can it trap you? Can you be trapped by anything? Do you want me to repeat?
Es que no he entendido la pregunta.
I didn't understood the question.
So, if you are a someone or a person, then you can be blocked
Sí.
or trapped by something, affected by something. But if you are awareness itself or presence, whatever we're calling it, can you actually be tricked by anything or trapped by anything?
No. Si fuera la misma conciencia, no.
If
Nada
I
me
was
podría poner un velo.
if I was awareness itself, it couldn't be possible.
So rather than focusing on dissolving the ego, why not bring attention to what we really are more and more? Because this dissolution is, and this changing of ego is happening by itself anyway, as we bring attention to what's real about us, awareness, presence. And from and as awareness, it doesn't matter whether our ego is very, very resistant and stubborn and contracted, or whether it's very light and easy and pleasant thoughts. It's all the same to awareness. So for me, it became more important to bring more attention to what I already am. And I began to see, as you said, that it can't be affected by ego at all. In fact, awareness is in love with the ego completely. It loves everything equally. It's aware of everything equally. And it doesn't need our ego to change at all. Doesn't need it. Only ego would want ego to change. Awareness, it doesn't matter, it doesn't care in that way. It loves it, our ego, whether it's functional or dysfunctional. Does that help?
Sí, Helen, me has ayudado mucho, pero de verdad te lo agradezco.
You have
Era
helped
una
me a
duda
lot.
que no me dejaba avanzar, ni sabía si avanzaba, ¿no?
I'm very grateful. I had a doubt and I didn't know if I was moving farther or
Gracias, muchas
not.
gracias, Helen.
Thank you very much.
Me has
I
ayudado.
spent
Gracias.
10 years trying to get rid of my ego. And then I realized it doesn't actually matter in that way. It will dissolve and soften in itself as I leave it exactly as it is. When I'm finally not trying to change it, that's when it dissolves. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Gracias, Helen. Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Wonderful. Okay, we'll go to Olivera. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Hello? Hello. Maybe you've answered my question with the first questioner, but still, I feel there's um, still misunderstanding there.
Okay.
So it happens to me that very heavy emotion um, takes over, and mm, I feel it in my body. It's paralyzing. And it seems that even if I do the work, uh, it's mental, and my body doesn't react to it. Just does its own thing. Yeah, and if I'm by myself, then I just let it be. But if I have to be in presence of other people, then it's very extremely difficult to function and interact.
Okay. What is the emotion, if you don't mind sharing? What emotion is it?
Oh, not at all. Thank you for asking, actually. Um, it's deep sadness, um, uncomfort, discomfort,
Mm.
like I'm utter failure. Um,
Yeah. And what work have you been doing
I'm
with it?
lost. Well, basically, self-inquiring. Who
Okay.
feels it?
Yeah. Okay.
And that the awareness is not separate from that feeling.
Mhm.
But then why that feeling? And also, what's it trying to tell me?
Mhm. Well, I think that you suggested a few things it might be trying to tell you already. I think you said, I'm lost, feel lost. Yeah.
Yes.
Anything else? Any sense of what it's trying to tell you? We could feel into it now, the best that you can. It might not be so strong right now, but what would you think it wants to tell you if you feel into the energy of it? That sadness, that discomfort. What does it want to say?
I can get what I want. Why did I put myself in the situation where my life is basically surviving? I I should have known better. I should have done better.
Can you see that
And
the
also, the spiritual progress is not uh, happening on top of that all.
can you see the root underneath all of those thoughts is somehow that you are not doing this idea that you're not doing good enough. You're not good enough. If you were some sense that if you were better, then this would have changed by now, something like that.
Yes, yes.
So for me, emotions wouldn't completely go until I'd found the story like this, like you've told us here, and I can't get what I want, I'm not good enough. These were ideas that I had to take into contemplation. So sometimes we can go straight to self-inquiry with a emotion, and as you said, we can look at what is it that's noticing this emotion, or where, as we were doing earlier, where does awareness stop and the emotion begin? And then we realize the emotion isn't really what it looks like. But in my own journey, there were some emotions that I couldn't do that with because they were so intense. When they happened, I couldn't
Yes.
even remember to self-inquire. So, this strong emotion. So, this is where and why we use contemplation here in these teachings. What we do with it then is we ask the emotion to tell us what it wants to say. And then we turn that into a question. We ask, is it really true I can't get what I want? Or is it really true that I'm not good enough? And we allow all the answers that want to come to that question. 5 or 10 minutes. We can do a little bit of it now if you'd like to.
Yeah, sure.
So what's the strongest story? Is it that you can't get what you want, or that you're not good enough? Which one is loudest when you feel into it?
Um, good things can't happen to me.
Did you say can't happen?
Yeah.
Well, let's just look at that then. Is that really true? We're just going to ask this question. I'm going to ask the question, and I'd just like you to tell all the answers that come. And answers can be inside, like thoughts, emotions, sensations. They can also be outside, like people talking in the environment, or a car passing by, or the sound of the heating or the air conditioning, dog barking, all kinds of answers outside. And we're just going to allow all the answers to this question. And we're not going to judge any of them. They're all welcome. Some might feel nicer than others, but they're all welcome. So I'm just going to ask this question, and then if you can, just share what answers come. So is it really true good things can't happen for me?
Well, the thought comes like that's my experience throughout my life.
Yeah. So we just treat that as a mind answer. It's a thought answer. It's welcome. And whatever answer comes, we just come back to the question, is it really true good things can't happen for me?
There's another thought um, like there were a few nice things and things that I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
But those feel like basics, like my son is healthy, I'm healthy.
So let's just, there's another thought answer there, right? We don't need to analyze. We can just recognize a thought answer. The mind is giving us answers to this question. Yeah, you're doing great. Let's just come back to the question again, as
I
open as we
think that
can.
I'm not, for some reason, I feel like I'm not deserving, but the way I am, I should be deserving, because
So this is another thought
I feel
answer. It's another thought answer, right? We can just let it be there. And let's come back to the question together, you and me. And everyone can ask this question as well as we're going along, because I'm sure this question is for everyone. Is it really true? Good things can't happen for me. We're just curious. Is this really true? It feels true, but let's be curious.
That's been my life's experience.
Yeah. So I've had experiences of it. Yeah, absolutely. But we want to know if it's true for us. So we'll just come back to the question. Just because we've experienced it doesn't mean it's true for us as the infinite being. So let's come back to the question. Is it really true? Good things can't happen for me.
My hands are like I'm uh, breaking my hands, like my hands and my fingers are extremely active at the moment, which is not usually the case.
It's okay. It's a body answer, right? It's an answer from the body. It's all welcome. And there's also a smile as another answer there. And we just allow them all. We don't favor any answers. And we come back to the question, is it really true? Good things can't happen for me.
I'm angry.
So anger as an answer, all is welcome, an emotional answer. And just coming back gently each time to the question, is it really true? Good things can't happen for me. You're doing great with this, absolutely wonderful. We're just open to all the answers, not trying to make anything happen.
I'm sad, I want to cry. I'll laugh and cry.
So laughter and sadness, both answers here at the same time, just allowing them to be. Is it really true? Good things can't happen for me.
Now it feels like it doesn't matter.
So these answers are just coming, right? We're not holding on to even the good ones. We're not pushing away the bad ones. The question itself is doing the work for us. We've experienced this over and over again because we believed it to be true. And the moment that we start to challenge it, is it really true? We start to have a different experience. Let's just ask this a couple more times if you want to. Yeah. Yeah. Is it really true?
I'm thankful.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm so incredibly thankful for this moment and this opportunity to do that with you.
Beautiful, thank you. Let's
That
ask the question together then a few times. Is it really true? Good things can't happen for me.
I don't know why I'm laughing even.
It's totally a valid answer, isn't it? Can begin to see the effect of just automatically believing this thought. But the moment we start to let the question do the work, something begins to shift in our experience. Yeah.
Wow, this is so great because I've been doing the asking the question, the contemplation, and doing this with you. I've never come to the point where I really realized that the question is doing the work. I got it all wrong. I thought that I was doing the work, so I got it all
It's
wrong.
normal, right?
Now I'm seeing. Now I'm seeing the point. Yes, I'm feeling the point. Yes, because I feel the work. Something's
shifting. Yeah. we as human beings, we're obsessed
Yeah.
with the answers. We're obsessed with answers usually, but here in contemplation, as like self-inquiry, we're more interested in the question. While the question is happening, we're not suffering because we can't believe a thought to be true and question if it's true at the same time. In that moment when we're questioning with curiosity, is this really true? Then there's an openness where we can't believe any thought. Thoughts may come as answers, as you saw, but we're not holding on to anything. Emotional answers, body answers, thoughts, sounds, your hands, fingers doing whatever they're doing, it's all valid, all valid. So it might be helpful to sit with this process 5 or 10 minutes a day and just to, no matter what answer arises, we just gently come back to the question. And we ask the question like we're sitting down to watch a movie. We're just asking the question and seeing what happens. No work at all, right? We're not working, yeah? This will be an interesting movie, contemplation movie, right?
So I'm so thankful because I've been doing that and I've come nowhere. Like I got it wrong, actually.
Well, we're all
I'm
learning.
now seeing what you're.
Yeah. Letting the question do the work. None of us do that at first, right? We all go to work with this and we effort, and so we're just relaxing into the question and seeing what answers arise by themselves. It's a different way, isn't it? So you've done amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm sure it's
I
helped
get it
everyone.
now. I got it now. Oh, this was so great.
Now you're
Thank you,
really
Helen,
smiling.
so much.
Now you're really smiling. Something really good is happening for
Oh,
you right now, isn't it? Something really good is happening for you right
yeah.
now. Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Beautiful.
I I just got it now doing this with you. Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you for being brave enough to share. Thank you. Okay, what time are we on? Okay, so we'll go to Magda and then we'll finish with Enrique.
Hola, ¿me
Hola.
escuchan?
Yes.
Gracias. Bueno, perdón que no ponga la cámara, pero bueno, estoy como hecha líos en la cabeza, Helen. Y
I am quite confused. I'm sorry for not switching my camera on.
Totally okay. Totally okay.
y ay, además con emoción.
And also feeling emotions.
Take a minute if you need to. There's no rush here. Just take a deep breath if you can too.
Mm, yo Creo que me afecta mucho el haber tenido un conflicto con una persona importante en mi vida.
I feel very touched having had a conflict with a very important person in my life.
Esto fue hace 4 días y bueno, esa persona aplica como la ley del hielo, ¿no? Donde me siento ignorada.
It happened 4 days ago, and now this person is ignoring me.
Em, y de hace 4 días para acá me vienen como muchos sentimientos, muchos, entre ellos enojo, tristeza, indiferencia, es mucho juicio.
These days, I'm experiencing a lot of anger, sadness, judge.
Y, y anoche me descubrí como muy resentida con esa persona, como mucho resentimiento.
Last night, I realized I was feeling very resentful with that person.
Y el juicio me falló, ¿no? Eh, y hoy conforme escucho el satsang, eh, he querido como aclararme sola y, e identifiqué una sensación de sentirme sola, indefensa y separada.
Now, with the satsang, I've been clearing up and I realize I've been feeling alone and separated.
Y, y ya en otras ocasiones en las que me he sentido con muchas emociones, pero creo que también me asusta el darme cuenta que estoy resentida.
Other times, I have felt quite a lot of emotions, but I'm freaking out because I feel I am resentful.
Mm, ya estoy en el curso de disolviendo el ego desde hace 22 días y, y he querido hacer la contemplación, pero quisiera ir como a la creencia raíz, porque quiero estar en paz.
I've been doing the Dissolving the Ego course for 22 days, but I would like to go to the root belief because I want to be at peace.
So
Pero
what
no sé si, ya una cosita más, no sé si tengo que hacer indagación o cuál es la creencia raíz en todo este lío mental.
I don't know if I had to do self inquiry or what I have to do with all that mess in my mind.
okay. So have you done any self-inquiry before we've spoken? I mean,
No,
do you practice it or are you
no,
familiar? Okay. Yeah.
no,
Okay.
no, todavía no.
Not yet.
Totally okay. We can try that today if you like together.
Sí, por favor.
It's my favorite thing to do, contemplation, meditation, self-inquiry. So it's good for me as well. So let's have a look and
Gracias,
see
gracias.
what you find when you look for yourself. And there's no right or wrong answers with this. We're just exploring together. Everyone can do this as well with us. So what do you find when you look for yourself?
Pues solo deseos de llorar.
I just want to cry.
So the emotion is what you perceive, what you see, or what you're aware of, what you're noticing, not what you are, right?
Cierto.
Yeah. So what is it that notices the emotion?
Mm, El ser, la conciencia, lo que
Be-
soy.
the beingness, awareness, what I am.
And are you experiencing that right now? Consciousness, the beingness?
Sí, sí. Sí, el darme cuenta de eso me aquieta.
When I become aware of awareness, it helps me to calm down.
Because the emotion comes from a story or a belief that seems true for us when when we think we're a person. But as we realize and experience together now this consciousness or beingness that you really are, it's clear that that isn't really true. Let's have a look in this consciousness right now. Let's experience it. And can it be resentful? Does it have resentments, consciousness?
No,
Can it do or say the wrong thing?
no,
Beautiful. Does it have anything to feel guilty about?
no.
And are there any other beings here in the consciousness, or is there just consciousness?
Solo la conciencia.
Just consciousness.
So when I asked you what you really are, what you find when you look for yourself, this is what presented itself, this consciousness, this beingness. And this is what you've always been. Let's check this out together. You're doing really good here. Did you just become this consciousness because I asked you to look, or have you always been this?
Siempre lo he sido.
I've always been this.
So I'm going to ask you a really strange question now then. Have you ever had an argument with anyone else?
No,
So maybe what's upsetting you more is the idea that you are a separate person that had this argument and is now holding on to resentment. But is that true for you? Is it true?
para mi conciencia no.
For me as awareness, no.
And is there any other you? Is there a person here called Magda inside consciousness?
Mm, pues, pues sé que surge de ahí el personaje, pero mm, y que él es el que está, esa Magda es la que está resentida, pero no soy yo.
I know it's the character Magda who is resentful, but it's not me.
But let's really look together now and see if we can find this character. Can you find Magda as a character or only as consciousness? Let's really search the consciousness and see, is there a character inside it?
Pues no, no encuentro nada.
I don't find anything.
I don't find anything. I don't find any object. I don't find any form that is myself. I find only consciousness, formlessness. So looking like this every time, as you've done so well, actually looking and trying to find the character, the person, and not finding it again and again and again is so helpful to begin to live as who we really are, as the consciousness. Unless we investigate in our inquiry like this, it doesn't really help us to just know here. So as we investigate like this and we look and we do find consciousness that is already what we are, and then we look and we don't find a person, a character, something begins to change, right? Is your body feeling more peaceful now? A little more relaxed?
Sí, sí.
And
Helen,
the
entonces,
intensity of the emotion, has that diminished?
sí, bastante.
Mm.
Estoy tranquila.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel calm.
Aquí tengo una pregunta. O sea, es como si desde la conciencia miro a Magda.
I have a question. It seems that from awareness, I see Magda.
What is Magda, though? What is Magda? When you look as awareness or consciousness, what do you see?
Pues un cuerpo,
A body.
A body, yeah? And is there a person living in it or only consciousness?
mm, pues es como si fuera, sí es como si veo una persona porque tiene pensamientos, sentimientos.
I see a person because it has thoughts, feelings.
But what is aware of those thoughts and feelings? Is it a person or is it consciousness? Something is aware of the
La,
body, the thoughts, the emotions. What is it?
la conciencia.
Awareness.
So it's just a thought. It's just a habit to think that it's a person having thoughts. So just looking like this every time, every time that you can and you want to, doing this investigation, this inquiry again, proving to yourself again, as I had to again and again, there isn't a person here when I look. There isn't a character. There's a body, there's thoughts, emotions, maybe. And when I look at who or what is aware of those, I find only consciousness every time. And something begins to change then, slowly in the way that we're subtly, in the way that we're living. You can feel it happening a little now, right? Already.
Sí,
Beautiful.
sí, sí. De hecho, en mis meditaciones he sentido muchos cambios que yo puedo llamarles milagros y es muy bonito, es lo que dices, conforme pasamos más tiempo en el ser que somos, se va modificando la vida. Bueno, vivirla de una manera distinta.
In my meditations, I have felt what you say, that we come to live our life in a different way.
Beautiful. And self-inquiry like this just helps to speed that up even more. So you practice like this as often as you
Sí,
can, yeah?
sí, así lo haré.
Beautiful.
Muchas gracias, Helen.
Thank you for
Muchas
being so
gracias a
brave.
las traductoras, a todos.
Yeah.
Gracias, gracias a todos.
And thank you to our wonderful translators. Yeah. So we'll finish with Enrique.
Hola, Helen.
Hola.
Achuchones.
Thank you.
Um, solo quería compartir, la semana pasada respondiste maravillosamente a la pregunta que te planteé
I just wanted to share that last week you beautifully answered the question I asked you.
y efectivamente, como dijiste, esperabas tocarme el corazón, lo hiciste profundamente.
You told me you expected to touch my heart, and you really did.
En este espacio también he tenido la oportunidad con nuestra Acharya Pilar
In this space with our Acharya Pilar, I have also had the opportunity
de poder centrar las preguntas de autoindagación y de causa-efecto, que son las que realmente siento que son las que tenía que formular.
to focus the questions about self inquiry and about cause and effect that are the ones I think I had to learn to formulate.
Beautiful.
Entonces, en todo ello lo que he creído como una carencia, como un impedimento importante en mi vida, como el trauma de mi vida,
What I had considered a lack or a trauma in my life,
lo que me he dado cuenta es que es tan sencillo como impermanente,
I have realized that it is as easy as impermanent.
Mm.
que va y viene,
It comes and goes.
y que aparece en las situaciones donde quiere efectivamente que sea personal.
And it appears in the situations where it wants it to be personal.
Yeah.
Entonces, durante tiempo he creído que el conocimiento de mí mismo podría estar relacionado con todo aquello que carecía o que me faltaba.
I used to think that the knowing of myself could be related with all that I thought I was lacking.
Y tanto tiempo y psicólogos he dedicado a resolverlo,
And so much time and therapy I had dedicated to solve it,
que sin duda ha sido muy útil para deshacerlo todo hasta el átomo,
it has been very useful to really break it down.
Mhm.
mientras que realmente no me di cuenta hasta la semana pasada de quién había estado presente en todo ello todo el tiempo.
But really, it was not since last week that I realized who had been present in all that the whole time.
Tell me
Durante el,
about that. Who is it that's been present that whole time?
el que ha estado presente durante todo el tiempo, por una parte, lo siento como toda la forma, todos los fenómenos, todos los acontecimientos, todo lo que ha sucedido y a la vez todo lo que no ha sucedido, todos los fenómenos que no han sucedido, todos los hechos, es decir, todo lo que ha sido y todo lo que no ha sido, todo a la vez.
The one who has been always present has been all that has been and all that hasn't been, all at once.
Porque al ver que era todo, evidentemente no podía ni ser una forma ni la historia ser personal. Era imposible que fuera personal.
As I saw it was everything, it could not be a form and it could be not personal. It was impossible for it to be personal.
No sé, un día tuve el placer en estos días de viento que está haciendo en Granada, viento y lluvia en el sur de España, que es una maravilla también.
Now, in the south of Spain, we have some windy days,
Algo tan sencillo como el vuelo de un pájaro.
something as simple as a bird flying,
Y cómo el pájaro se dejaba llevar por todo ese viento, cómo conocía de forma intuitiva todo ese viento y se elevaba y descendía jugando con todo ello.
the bird was playing with the wind and was allowing the wind to move it.
Y cómo el cielo no solamente lo acogía, sino que jugaba también con ello.
The sky not only received that, but also played with that.
Pero me quedé con el cielo que miraba, con el cielo que acogía, no con el pájaro.
And I chose the sky that was looking, not the bird.
Y ahí sentí de una forma natural que me llevó a la risa,
And there I felt in a natural way that led me to laughter,
que si algo soy, es eso que está contemplando y eso que está cogiendo el vuelo del pájaro.
that if I am something, is is that what is observing and that what is taking in the flight of the bird.
Entonces, sigo indagando con mucho interés y curiosidad en la pregunta realmente, en la autoindagación que encontré o que sentí relacionada donde si alguna vez ha existido o yo tengo una historia personal.
I keep on inquiring in the question, do I have a personal history?
Y por otra parte, en causa y efecto, he sido un poco más radical.
And then in the cause and effect, I've gone further
Porque me estoy preguntando lo que siento más auténtico. Y es que si es completamente cierto que soy una mierda.
because I am asking myself what I feel a more authentic, and it is if is it really true that I am a shit?
Porque esto es mi pensamiento o la creencia más auténtica y la emoción más auténtica.
Because this is the most authentic belief and the most authentic emotion.
Y lo único que compartirte es que siento una, ¿cómo diría? Una feliz y una tranquila sorpresa con la pregunta, porque parece que no van conmigo, que no tiene sentido que me esté preguntando eso.
I am happy and surprised with the questions because it seems that they have nothing to do with me, and it makes no sense that I am asking the questions.
The questions happen anyway, just to clear out these energies from the body mind so that we can live more as consciousness. The questions are just being asked spontaneously for the joy of it and for the capacity to live from this freedom, as this freedom, more and more. It's beautiful.
Es compartir esto que estoy viviendo y un profundo agradecimiento, casi en un cumpleaños desde que te conocí y comencé la sanga y realmente está siendo, si algo era necesario en mi vida, era esto.
I just wanted to share this and also to express a I feel deeply grateful. If there was something that was missing in my life, it was exactly this.
Yeah, beautiful. We're all so lucky to have this family here, right? To walk the path with us, to support us, to wipe our tears when we're crying, and to celebrate with us when we make some breakthrough. Yeah, so lucky. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing so openly. Yeah, lots of
Gracias,
love.
achuchones,
Achuchones.
achuchones.
Thank you. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, so that is a beautiful place to leave it here now. And just want to say, every time we do a satsang like this, I'm always amazed by the sharings and the bravery of everyone. And every time I finish a satsang, I always have this feeling it can't get any better than this. And yet every time it does. So thank you for being here with us today. And thank you for all your contribution, your love, and your energy. Even if you never said a word, your energy and your presence is so important. Thank you so much. Thank you to our wonderful translators and co-hosts as well. Thank you. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you. Namaste.